Black Ops 7 is here and we have the Warzone integration today, and I have spent the last 6-7 hours going shot for shot, as you can see right here, writing down every little thing I can on where shots land on legs, shots land on chest, shots land on head, really just working it out for you guys, making sure you have the best builds in the game and what you know you need to level up if you haven't leveled up yet. All right, so we're gonna start with the M15 mod. Now think about this, you're gonna have headshot damage, you're gonna have chest damage, and you're gonna have leg damage. Keep that in the back of your head the whole time, okay? So the M15 mod, it will give you 10 shots to kill if you're all leg, 9 shots to kill if you're all chest, and 8 shots to kill if you're all head. So that's what that looks like. For a build like that, what I will be running in my optic spot, you want to go the mid-range optic, which is the 4.0 optic. I really like this one, but you can choose any optic of your choice. The muzzle's a big thing. You want the firepower suppressor. It adds 20% more bullet velocity, and you're going to want bullet velocity. Bullet velocity is key. If you don't know what bullet velocity is, don't worry, I'll tell you what it is. Bullet velocity is the time it takes from when you push the trigger on your controller or on your mouse to the bullet hits your target. So the more bullet velocity you have, the better you are hitting your target, the less tracking you have to do. It's almost like hit scan. So you're going to want the firepower suppressor, monolithic suppressor, however you want to call it. That's the one you're going to want to win. Then you're going to go to barrel, and you're going to want to do the hybrid fusion barrel. And not because I said so, but because it gives you more damage range, it gives you more bullet velocity. So then this is an AR. You want more range, you want more bullet velocity. Simple math, guys. I'm making it easy for you here. Then your magazine, you're gonna wanna make sure you're ranked up to the 60 round mag here. Get that fully eclipsed right there. And then I go over to fire mod and I squeeze in a little bit more overpressured rounds, which will give you about 20% more bullet velocity. But if you have trouble controlling the recoil here, do the buffer springs. They'll be really good. Okay, now you're gonna wanna pair that up with the Ryden 45K. With the Ryden 45K, keep in mind again, head, chest, leg. So leg, you're gonna have 10 shots, chest, you're gonna have 10 shots, and 8 into the head. Knowing that, here's the build, what you're gonna wanna do. And this is obviously, we're gonna start at like kind of the bottom build and work our way up to like the meta, top meta. So these are like viable, they'll work, they're okay, ground loot, that kind of thing. All right, fire mod. All right, optic, if you want to run an optic of choice, go for it. That's totally up to you. I kind of go both ways on here. You could do the monolithic suppressor for bullet velocity, or you could just do a suppressor in general. Not a lot of people look at the mini map when shots are fired, but there was some changes to the mini map now where they have yellow dots, which, by the way, whoever did that, I appreciate. So I would do either the suppressor or the monolithic suppressor. Only because it gets you off the mini map, but that would be something I would do right there. Probably the monolithic suppressor. It does hurt your aim down sight, but it does give you that. So you're going to want to aim it with that. Then you're going to go into your barrels. Now keep in mind, you're going to want to look at your aim down sight speed with your guns, because as faster you aim down sight, the better, right? So something like the ballistic short barrel would be good, because you're looking at this, you're going to get 215 aim down sight, which we're going to get that lower. We want to like 190, 180, but 215 sounds good there. So we're going to do the ballistic barrel right there. Then we're going to go in and we're going to put our magazine. So you're going to have a couple things here. You got a 40, a 30, a 50, and then you have the 27. You're going to want to go with the 50 here on that one. And then you're going to go over to your rear grip. Now this is where you can get that faster ADS. So even just a quick draw grip or the excess grip, 21%, 185 milliseconds, which is great. Or if you want to do something different, you could do the dive to fire, slide to fire, aim down sight, and the jumping aim down sight with the eruption, which that is what I would do, because you're going to be sliding and then aiming, you're going to be aim down sight, and you get multiple here, and it still takes you under that 200 mark, which is great. Now you're going to want to do, you can make two choices here. Fire mods, which is going to get you a faster fire rate, which is going to be a waste. You could do more bullet velocity, but we're not building a sniper support here. The recoil springs is the only other thing you could look at. So if you can't manage the recoil in this gun, recoil springs is going to be your best friend. What I would do is go into laser, and we want to make sure that we're getting as much out of this as possible. So look at these, and I really like the swift point laser. Again, it's going to take me down to 185 at the ADS speed, and it's going to make this gun very fast and easy to use. And that's your build coming in at number 5. Okay, number 4, we're going to go with the Maddox RFB for the assault rifle. For the Maddox RFB, remember, head, chest, leg, right? So you got 9 shots to the leg, 8 shots to the chest, 7 shots to the head. It's gonna kill a little bit faster than an M15 mod is, okay? Just a couple little bit faster because they have less time to kill there. So we're gonna build this bad boy up. Again, any optic you're gonna wanna go with, that is your choice. Muzzle's not gonna change much. A monolithic suppressor here is what you're gonna wanna rock because you're getting that bullet velocity, okay? Barrel, same idea. You're going to want the barrel that does the best at damage range and bullet velocity. So you have your prestige attachments here that do update the fire rate, but it kills the horizontal recoil. So that's a gimme. You have to kind of figure out what's going to be best for you there. The biggest thing here you're going to want to do is probably the Virtuous OP barrel, right? So you're going to get a better bullet velocity and you're going to get horizontal and vertical recoil. So if you have that unlocked, attach that one there. Magazine, same idea. You're going to want the extended mag. So they cap these mags at 60 on these BO7 guns. So you're going to want to do that at 60. And then we're going to look in the fire mod section and we're going to go with the nano overpressured rounds to get another 20%. So you're going to get 20% from the monolithic, 20% on the high velocity ammo under your fire mod. And then that will set your gun up to be a good hard hitting gun. Now you're going to want to pair it with the Carbon 57, okay? And the Carbon 57 is going to have 10 shots to the leg, 9 shots to the chest, 8 shots to the head. If you don't believe me, you can check yourself, put it in single fire. But all right, so optic, if you want to run an optic, again, that's totally on you. Now on these muzzles, you want to make sure that, again, what's going to be best for you. Vertical recoil, we're here. Again, what I would look at is probably going with the monolithic suppressor. I know it's surprise, surprise. You can choose something different if you want like a muzzle brake for a little bit more accuracy, stuff like that. But it's up to you, pick your choice. If I was going to pick, it would either be the muzzle brake, the compensator, or the suppressor. Now barrels, we're going to look at our barrels here. One of the biggest things here on barrels is you're using an SMG. So recoil stabilization and aim down sight are important. You want to make sure. So what I would do is the short barrel or the radiant barrel. Either one, which works good for you. I like the short barrel because it gets my ADS down to 175 milliseconds and it gets my sprint to fire lower. It gets my jumping aim down sight sprint to fire lower, your sprint to fire speed. All of the aim down sight stuff goes in the right direction. So you're going to want to use that barrel. Magazine, nothing new here. We're going to go ahead and use the extended mag, getting 60 here. And like I said, they are all capping all that at 60. So the 60 round mag here will be great. Then we're going to go over to 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Then we got a couple which ways we can do it. Again, fire mod, we can use the accelerator recoil system if that's going to help you because you need help with recoil, or you're going to use a laser. Sharks with freaking lasers, right? So you're going to want to do the handling laser because that's going to bring it down to 205 and give you a nice round package here for the Carbon 57. All right. Let's keep going. Now we're going to do the AK-27. And on the AK-27, you're going to have 9 shots on the leg, 9 shots to the chest, and 7 shots to the head. So it will kill faster than the previous 2. That's how I build my loadouts, kind of in order that way. Same idea though, right? Every gun's a little bit different. Optic of your choice. Muzzle, it's just going to be the same thing, guys. We're going to use the monolithic suppressor as you unlock it. The barrel in here, we're going to want to make sure we get the hybrid barrel or something right in there. So we got the hybrid barrel here, what gives us 8% bullet velocity and more damage range, which is great. You can go to the control barrel. It gives you a little bit better control and gives you more bullet velocity. So play with those two, but those two are going to be the ones you can. If you want the max range, you can go with the extended barrel because you have the lift in the bullet velocity from the suppressor. So those are the 3. If it's me making it for me, I'm going between the hybrid barrel and the extended barrel. Those 2 I would play with back and forth. Then the magazine's going to be the same kind of idea. We got 45, 35, 60. We're going to go with 60. And then on our last pick right here, again, I'm either doing recoil springs or buffer springs here. Recoil springs or high overpressured ammo for that bullet velocity. I really, really enjoy that. So that's going to be your build for the AK-27. Now the RK9. The RK9 is interesting because it's a burst gun. So when doing the burst, here's how it breaks down. It's going to be 4 bursts to the leg, 3 bursts to the chest, and 2 bursts to the head. If you aim neck, it kind of spams up a little bit. So it can be pretty dangerous if you're wanting to use a burst gun. It works pretty well. So the build on it though is going to look like this. Again, optic of your choice, suppressor, either one works well. And then you're going to do the barrel, right? So again, this one has a little bit more heavy on the recoil. So I would lean towards more of like a hollow barrel, something like that, or plan ahead in the future attachments to make sure your recoil control is underway. But most likely you're going to want to do something right around there. I really like the 12.4 barrel here. I would also use the long barrel as to get a little bit more damage range out of it. But those are going to be your choices right in there. Magazines, same kind of idea, guys. We're going to want the biggest one. We have the 57 here at the level 34, and then we have the 42 right there as well. So, and then the last one, again, same kind of idea. Recoil springs here. Or what I would do is go into your rear grip here and then add on this Lotus quick draw, because that brings it down to 114 milliseconds. That is fast. So if you don't want to do just that, you can go ahead and do the mobile quick draw grip, which is also covers everything. I lean towards the mobile quick draw grip on this gun. Try it out. I think you'll love it. I think it'll be fun for you guys to use it. All right, keep moving. Now we got coming in at number 2, the Mirage. That's right. It's not a Mirage. It's a real gun, and it's the DS20 Mirage. And it actually does really well in this game. It comes in at 9 for the leg, 9 for the chest, and 8 for the head. And it's really easy to control. So again, we're gonna rock the optic here as your choice. The muzzle is going to be the monolithic suppressor here, which gets you that damage range and the bullet velocity. Think Warzone, not multiplayer. And then barrel here, you're going to want a the advocated barrel, which is great, which that's going to do is bullet velocity and vertical and horizontal recoil control. You could add in here and do the ruptured barrel or the long barrel here, because it does increase that damage range pretty good, and you'll get a nice lift on that monolithic for the bullet velocity, because standard is 870 on bullet velocity here. You go above 1,000 with that 20%, and then you get that long range, which that combo is a really nasty combo to do really well. Magazine here, we're going to do 45, 35, 60. We're going to do the 60. Make sure we have enough rounds to take on multiple teams. And then on this one, I would get a little bit either recoil control sync, or I would do the 20% more on the bullet velocity, bringing that in probably right around 100, probably 1200 bullet velocity, making a nice, good AR here that will hit very hard. So if you don't have this one ranked up, guys, you got to rank it up. All right, MPC-25, that is going to come in at my number 2 SMG right now. You're going to want to make sure you build it correctly though. So standard, this comes in at 190 milliseconds. And then the shot breakout is going to be 9 to the leg, 9 to the chest, and 7 to the head. So let's take a look. Again, optic and muzzle are optionary. Some people run iron sights on the optic instead of optic. It's up to you. A muzzle, same kind of idea. You got the suppressor. We could see off the mini map. Depends on what you feel like there. I sometimes will run the first shot, the kick, and the vertical recoil. So the compensator. I'm not big on using a suppressor for SMGs just because there's short range gunfights. I don't think a lot of people do that. I think that's a sweaty pro thing, that they look at the map and try to find out where people are based upon shots. I don't think us casual people like us really think about it a lot. So I would say go ahead, use those to help with the recoil control. Then the barrel. Now there's a couple things here you can do, which I really like. So they have the prestige attachment, which is the short jump barrel, which gives you a ton of recoil control, which then you can alleviate a lot of the other stuff. Or you can go in and you can do something where you got the mid-range damage. I would really look at the recoil stabilization and the aim down sight speed and of the handling control panel, or handling control barrel, sorry. At 174 milliseconds, that is awesome. Magazine, again, not gonna beat a dead horse here, but 50 round mag. Use the 40 round mag until you unlock the 50 round mag. So, and then, like I said, you could go real grip here and go to the dive, slide to fire, aim. That gets it down to 144. You could go 114. These are the things you want to look at here. You could go the sprint to fire grip, which is crazy fast, 68 milliseconds. That is bonkers. So there's a lot of different choices. For me, I'm choosing the photonic adaptive grip here. It gives me better aim down sight, better jumping aim down sight, better slide to fire, and better dive to fire. That's the one I'm sticking with. So it makes it super easy. Now, if you wanted to, you could do the overpressure or the recoil control here if you're finding that's being a little bit of a problem. I don't add a lot of bullet velocity on SMGs unless I'm building like a sniper support. You don't really need them. And then you could do a laser in conjunction if you wanted to really drive that aim down sight speed lower down to 130. So, but I think I know that's the better build for it right here. You have your, muzzle, you have your barrel, you have your magazine, you have your rear grip, and an optic of your choice. But if you're gonna, which I usually do, or if you're gonna do iron sights, then you throw on that laser and you're all set. A couple honorable mentions before we get to the top. We have the LMG, the MK-78. It's this gun right here. Really great gun, and I'll tell you why. A couple different things. One, it has 70 round mag, which is great, but it has 9 shots to the leg, 8 shots to the chest, and 7 to the head. So if you don't mind a slower recoil, especially on big map, this would be the gun to use because of that. It kills really fast. It's just that magazine that is like, you can do a 100 round mag, or just drop it down to the 75 round mag. But that speed of reload is really going to get you. And then just keep in mind, you're going to want the overpressured rounds for the bullet velocity. But that is an honorable mention you could use. That is a really good gun. I will say from a sniper standpoint, I know we have sniper fans watch the channel. The VS Recon is way to go, or the X3 or Ion. The Shadow 5K or SK, I think, is a complete waste. I'm just not big into it. I don't think it works that well. But try it yourself. Let me know what you think. But the X3 Ion and the VS Recon are the way to go. All right, top meta, what you should be using if you haven't ranked it up, rank it up right now, is the MXR17. And I'll tell you why. Couple things here. MXR17, I've been using it all day. Like I said, I've gotten 3 wins. We got 8 to the leg, 7 to the chest, 6 shots to the head. And that's before I add in anything here to make it even better. So again, well, same idea, right? You're going to want, excuse me, you're going to want the monolithic suppressor to get that 20% bullet velocity. Then we're going to look at the barrels and figure out which one we really want to go with. I like the Scourge barrel at 15% because you're going to get more bullet velocity and you're going to get that recoil control. So the 17-inch barrel, make sure you get that ranked up. Magazine, we're going to do the extended mag, which is great. 45, we got the 60 round mag for the extended mag too. And that'll make it do a ton more bullets that way. Then we're going to go over and we're going to either add more bullet velocity or the recoil control. I lean towards the recoil control on this because I think the bullet velocity will take care of itself. But that is the #1 AR you should be using, and pick the optic that you like best. Now, the SMG that you should be using is the Dravec 45. And the Dravec 45 is 8 shots to the leg, 8 shots to the chest, and 7 to the head. So it is the fastest killing SMG in the game currently. That is of the Black Ops 7 weapons. So a couple things on here. Same idea. For me, I'm looking for ADS, right? I want that fastest ADS. So I'm going to go with the short barrel. The 12-inch cloud barrel gives me a really fast ADS. Magazine, doing the same kind of thing as I did before. Going to go with the 60 round mag, get that good stuff right there. Get that goody. And then I'm also going to be going to my rear grip, and I'm going to be going to the dive to fire, and I'm going to drive that even lower because at 183. And we're going to keep getting lower on that. So we got our optic if you need it, but then barrel, magazine, extended magazine, short barrel there, and then the rear grip. I'm looking at doing the mobile quick grip or the Herald Z1 grip right there, just to get out of the gates really quickly on. And if I have room, I will add in a laser to drive that down even more. Probably the Swift Point laser, or if I prestige a gun, which I'm about to, I would do the mobile range laser. You can do that either which way you think is better. I'm more probably going to do the LTI Swift Point laser, but that will get you a very fast killing SMG. And you can see the damage ranges there: 0 to 12, 45 damage, 12 to 22, 38, and 22 to 30 is the ranges there. And hey guys, those are the top builds you want to be using right now in Warzone. Like I said, I did all the work for you, so that should be good. Just plug them in, should be good to go. I would have codes for you if I didn't weapon prestige, but you know what? It's fun. It's fun to do weapon prestiges. And if you have time, do something. And if you have time, check out these 2 videos right here for Black Ops 7. One, I got the settings dialed in for you, so you don't even have to plug in your settings or figure it out. Just plug in mine. I've been playing all day while you guys have been at work. And then Watch this other video here about how to rank up faster. And then if you have time, hit subscribe, turn notifications on because I got videos coming out all the time. All right, guys, I'll talk to you in the next one. Thanks.